Hey everybody, DayTraderRockStar here with a very special update. We'll call this a market radar. This is actually a market radar going out, both on the overall market conditions, and then we're going to be also taking a look at some stocks that are setting up for next week, but we're going to get those out early for the members. So this is going to be two-part video. The first part, of course, I do the market radar. I'll send this out to the general public and give you some thoughts on the market. Second part, we're going to be adding some new stocks to the watch list. Now, the HPS watch list, the high probability watch list, has been on fire again. And everything really just working out. And today we actually had AIC hit. And I'm going to actually show you this because there is a few active ones, but we're going to put on, it looks like going into tomorrow.
Tradeometer overbought.
And there's the tradeometer. And that's another thing I need to remind you how well that's been working. So if you're curious about the tradeometer, look into it a little bit more. Go to tradeometer.com. That has been a great tool for trading the futures because the market's been kind of grinding higher. Actually, looking at the S&P 500 hourly charts gives us a good example of that rising wedge pattern. But here's the daily. And the daily, if we look out here, you can see this long trend. And this is the hardest thing to do, is to call a top in the market. But we're looking under this rising trend line, a real tight trend line on the hourly. You can actually see now a perfect, picture-perfect wedge pattern, a rising wedge pattern. And typically these patterns break down. Now, in the market, it's so strong, lots of times this pattern will actually break out and then almost capitulate to the upside, where we're kind of getting a blow off top, and then it'll roll down and break down. I've seen that so many times that is my call going into this pattern. The market's been showing, like I said, if we're going to find a great divergence, we'll trade that. But there's nothing here that's really hard to time the market. There's no countdown. There's nothing. There's going to be if there is a black swan event in the future, we have to deal with it. But technically speaking, the market is strong and it's going up slowly. 3 points today, 3 points yesterday. I mean, it's just slowly grinding here. Not exciting, but it is doing it. So a lot of people are looking for that pullback. And seeing this wedge pattern, a lot of people are saying, wow, this is a textbook wedge pattern. It's definitely going to break down. Well, I put the square here representing, we're in the right area. I might be up here above 2,600. But I think within the next week, we probably do break out of this to the upside and then curl back down and then break down back under 2580. So I am going to aggressively take a short if that happens. We get this breakout over the next couple of sessions, tomorrow's, and then the next week. I would be aggressively shorting into that. And it's a trade. It might not work. It might just continue to move higher. But that's a trade I'll be looking for. The market also starting to rotate, starting to pick up some interesting signals. Like we've been focused on the consumer product, the defensive sector, a little bit more the last 2 weeks with the KHC and the Procter Gamble and all these other stocks. These stocks have been awful. So it makes kind of sense. Sometimes you get those utility, telecom, more of the higher dividend paying stocks tend to not perform as well if the market is really rallying, because people are not, they're taking more aggressive trades or holding the more aggressive stocks, as the trend is telling you, hey, you got to be in it to win it. And then when the market here tends to get a little shaky, then you start to see money rotate maybe into a more safety stock that kind of gives a good dividend, because people always tend to like that, that consistent income of a dividend, even if the market's not performing too well. So you could read into that any way you will, but lots of times we see that rotation. Right now, all the money is flowing into those big stocks, Facebook and Netflix and Google and Apple, and those are all at close to 52-week highs, all-time highs. The stocks like the Procter Gamble, the Philip Morris, everything that normally are, you would think that are, look at these stocks. These look pretty crappy, right? There's nowhere near the highs, all pulling back and stuff. But not too far back, just enough to start to get interested in these. The Procter Gamble we got in today on a divergence. A divergence is our #1 go-to, so we're in that. And again, I want to try to make this video pretty fast, just to say that I am seeing that rotation. We have Clorox on our watch list. We have Procter Gamble. We have KHC. Interactive Corp hit today. Let me show you what that happens actually. You could see that this is our recent HPS list here, and you can see that Clorox is still active, KHC is still active, but we're about to hit our target. We took profits on that. AIC, what you do is you click on that, the chart will come up, and when the chart comes up, you could adjust it if it's not fitting on your screen. It'll be detailed, telling you what we're looking for. So this Interactive Corp, which we got into, one of these strong stocks, and you're buying this every time you have an opportunity. It gives you a little pullback, and if it looks like a flag, it probably is a flag because the strength is there. So we took this trade just a couple days ago, and it didn't take long to hit our target today. So we took it off this morning, and it was just it actually rotated all the way back down. But the fact is, we got that alert early this morning. We're able to activate it and take it off and take profits now, and that's exactly how that's supposed to work, the HPS setup. So a lot of new setups are going to be going on that. And actually, I showed you I didn't even shoot. You know what I did? I actually was taking a look at here's the chart. I was taking a look. I grabbed my other video screen. So this is the setup here. I apologize. You didn't see what I was showing you before. This was the Interactive Corp. Our buy signal was right in this zone. We got it, and then we just sold it. And then that's how you get to that. So you can see what's active right now. One more time. And even the AIC, that AFLAC, the short, we actually have a couple of shorts on the table. The short and the Pfizer worked out fine. Interactive Corp just worked out great. The new ones that are going to be up there are going to be placed on there before the end of the day tomorrow. I mean, we're going to start putting them up there tonight, but you're going to find out about them in this video. The short, the ones that stopped out here, the Sienna, this is a new one that's going to go on the list here. Now, let's take a look at the Sienna chart. Let's take a look at the Sienna chart here. And remember, this one, I'm in it. We put the stop in there. I kind of walked you through the whole process, because when it did come down, we have there we got the Sienna chart here, and actually, I think it was just a matter of it didn't come down to but this was our original buy zone, and it moved up, then it pulled back, and then eventually came down here and triggered it and bounced back up and then pulled back. And I got in right back here, right back here, right after it triggered again, and it kind of gapped down on this optical news. There was some an earnings play that came out from OCLR, and the earnings and guidance were bad, so it brought down the whole optical sector. Included the FNSR, Sienna, ACIA, some other ones, and that really that was the earnings. That was a result of another stock in the sector. And when that happens, sometimes it's a great opportunity. But anyway, it came down, triggered that stop. That's why it's red. But it actually is going back on the list as one of the best bets going into next week. We have that divergence set up, as you can see, the higher low and the choppiness, almost a double bottom there. And, the downward channel, everything here looks pretty good. Even the candle today was nice to the upside. So that's going to be added back to the watch list there. All right, so before I stop the video here, we're going to cut the video in half, and the next segment of the video is going to go out to the members of Day Trading Radio. We're going to add the new HPS setups going into next week. I'm going to show you the video of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I showed you that Sienna's going to be on it. You already got one, but there's a lot of other good ones setting up here, but the main thing is I think we're very close to getting a short-term top here, but I think there's a little bit further move here, maybe a move above 2,600 on the S&P, and then a rotation back. And it's nothing long-term. We're not calling any top in the market. I'm just talking a trading opportunity off of the 60-minute time frame. I think that's a great opportunity to get a pop short into it, look for a reversal, and let that ride. And then, let's get into the other ones. And if we'll see you in the markets. And if you're not a member of Day Trading Radio, go try out the trial. Just go to www.daytradingradio.com. check out the trial and join our community.